You know what I'm saying?
The whole game is rigged.
You don't think you finna cater to me?
The whole game rigged.
And they be donated millions.
All the way down to the situation that occurred. You know what I mean? It's like the land of free will, right? So they knew crack was gonna do what it did in the 80s. They know guns gonna do what they gonna do right now. Yeah. It's the same. It's the same thing. It's just a different mythology to it.
Always.
You know,
always.
It's always.
It rotates. You know what I'm saying? It comes back 360.
And then they distract us with the politics and the nonsense. So we constantly never focus on the issues that really are dear to our community. And in my opinion, we missing close to 5 million people out of our communities right now.
What you mean by that? What you mean by missing?
They missing, B. Like they don't
like
either they done been murdered.
Oh, right.
They done been incarcerated. They done been kidnapped and some other strange shit. But we, like our neighborhoods.
Oh, speaking of that,
is like our neighborhoods are missing a magnitude of citizens.
What about the you hear about the cat that they just found? I guess he was missing for a minute, but all his organs was gone.
Him up? Yeah, man.
Yeah, I forget his name. Something Day. My fault, I forget his name, but rest in peace to him.
Rest in peace.
And yeah, they found the brother with no organs, brain. They can't find his brain.
Chopped his brain out.
His they said they couldn't he was just, you know what I'm saying, mutilated pretty much, man.
They did him in. But that's like.
And it was in the go, right?
I wouldn't even try. Like
I think it was in the go, and the reason why that's important is because that's with the whole the Kanika situation, and then you find out after she passed, the hotel that she was in, they end up getting actually charged for
organ harvest.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No, it's real shit, man. My biggest thing, cause being in the space that I'm in, man, like having families that's dealing with so much, you know what I'm saying, and then to have somebody from this thing they call life source, you know what I'm saying, come in, and it's just all bad,
You want to grab your chair, Miss Lane?
Oh, no, you wanted me to stand here or not. It did go off and I turned it right back on.
All right. Yeah, I want you to pull it out over there if you want to.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Welcome.
The camerawoman.
My first.
All right.
But yeah, like, it's just interesting, man. Like, my biggest thing is, if you have people that are donating organs and we know that the organs are being sold for X amount of dollars, why don't we give the family members proceeds from those organs that are sold from their children? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the hardest part.
You saying the people that's taking them should be giving the money to
the families. Like, when an organization approaches a family member, say you are a family member, you inside the hospital.
Right.
An organization kind of approaches you, and they say, "Oh, if your family's about to die, let me get those organs." You know what I'm saying? Right. Donate those organs. So they're gonna take those organs and then come over here and sell those organs, but they're not gonna get a family nothing.
Right. Well, see, but I guess what you got to do there then, though, is just like doing business. The family got to be like, "I'll sell you these. Do we get blah 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 blah?" I don't know how that.
Ain't no negotiation.
I don't know how that game go. You know what I'm saying?
That game is crazy because people come on.
They don't have no negotiation in that. Do you know anything about that?
No negotiation to it. As I know,
if you sell it, you just sell it.
If you donate if you mark yourself as a donor. You're just a donor.
You're just a donor, yeah.
Right? And then the corporations that then, gather those organs after a person becomes a donor, they make X amount of dollars off of each body part. So like a kidney is probably 40, 50 grand. All these.
You know what would have to change in that then? The language got to change.
It's law.
You know
it's written into law so that the corporations.
People got, instead of donating, you got to start saying, "Hey, man, we want some proceeds, some proceeds."
You know what I'm saying? You want more. I know. And then the messed up part about it is that we dying so fast that this shit can happen all day, every day.
But I guess if everybody started charging for their organs, then I guess
it might slow down.
They're gonna say it's a shortage. You gotta know how that goes. It's gonna be a shortage then.
A shortage for who?
They're gonna say people that need them. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you're supposed to be donating them for.
We got a shortage of human life.
Yeah.
Shit, what the fuck? Hey, look, we trying to live over here. Hey, if y'all organs going bad, My 17 and 18-year-old nephews shouldn't be the first candidates just because they died due to gun violence. Like, it's this weird cycle. It's this weird cycle. And then half the time when these shorties out here doing what they doing, they fuck around and die and get shot up. They ain't got no life insurance to take care of that shit, so they put their family in the hole. And like, people don't understand. And this is what I try to tell my guys all the time, dog, y'all valuable. You feel me? Like, you valuable because the moment that you are murdered, B, everybody make money off of you. Everybody make money off of you as soon as you murdered.
And majority of the time, you don't leave back no money to help pay for that shit.
Everybody get paid except for you, dog. You done risked your life for some shit, for some street signs. We was having a conversation about the street signs. So you know street signs is made by guys in prison, right? Guys gangbang under the same street signs all day, right? It's just bananas, right? So you
think when you put that shit be crazy.
It's crazy, right? So you got street signs, right? And these street signs come from individuals that are incarcerated, right? And then you have young men that post up onto these corners where these street signs are at, and ultimately end up in prison to make the damn street signs. And they'll die for them 2 street signs that are made from somebody in prison, and will die for that block.
And you're getting paid about.
And die for them street signs.
You might get paid like $250 to make street signs in jail.
Street signs.
That's like the good job in jail. That's like having a construction worker job. Because anybody else is making 25 cents. I think it's up to like $250 or some goofy shit. So yeah, you in here making street signs and shit for $250.
That joint finna die. You spent all your time gang banging under street signs that's made by guys in prison to either dead or in jail under the same street signs.
Right.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Well, shit, man. Like I said, man, people, all organizations, like I said before, need to get together, share information on Facebook, get into those groups. We make groups for cars and all that other stuff. Make groups for organizations and get together. You know what I'm saying? Politic. Spread the love.
Spread the love, man.
What else you got, man?
Shit, I don't know, man. I was gonna talk about this thing called seduction.
Go ahead. What about it? Talk to the people, man.
I just been on my mind for a minute, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you say it? Like, a disclaimer, right? So, I'm not here to offend nobody, man. Like, these are real conversations that need to be had, right? And, like, it's not an offense to nobody or anything that anybody does. These are just real conversations. So, no offense to nobody. Please, if you get offended, turn the channel. But seduction, right? So like a lot of the times, you know, like men get in trouble, right? You know, like something go wrong. You got all of these things, like let's say Kobe Bryant, for example. You know, his whole situation with the young lady in the hotel room, you know, inviting the young lady in. He was the one that was considered wrong for doing that. True indeed, he was married. True indeed, all of these other factors, you know what I'm saying? But as a man, sometimes we can be seduced just like women can. So, like...
Is that a thing? That's an argument, though? Like, people arguing against that?
Like, it's not even a topic people have. Like, the moment Kobe opened the door, who was wrong for that?
Well, in actuality, you know, he's wrong
because he's married. But
like if we're talking seduction, everybody should know that men is, you know, this is why I tell women though. This is why I tell women.
Talk about it because I want to know.
It's impossible we're all human beings, right? Men and women are human beings, right? Okay. It's impossible that all 90% of men cheat. It's impossible that 90% of men cheat, and that's just because we want to cheat. It's impossible.
90% of men cheat because they get caught.
No, I'm talking about the reason why we cheat. Yeah, they do, but way less than men. Way less than men.
Because they don't get caught?
No, way less than men. Women are just built different. Men, listen. Look at all species.
Okay.
The men always got multiple partners. Look at lions and everybody.
Women do too.
No, they do not.
The women lions be busting it open.
No, man. No, that's
They be the women lions be busting it open.
In most species, like 95% of species, the men is always what's the word when you have multiple
polygamous.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Do you think that's like on accident? Do you think like men just want to cheat?
I don't
men are born. We're not made. Men, period, is not made to be with one woman. And I'm not saying 100% of men.
So how is Kobe wrong for what he did? How was Kobe
men
wrong?
Men don't be wrong. What we be wrong at is this.
That's society eyes.
This society, Kobe was wrong, right?
But this is what we be wrong at.
And he was wrong for what?
This is where we be wrong at.
Because he accepted the seduction?
We're wrong because we don't just be honest and say that we want multiple partners. We say we want to be with just you, then we cheat. That's where we wrong at. So that's our fault instead of just keeping it real.
But let's
talk the reason
about
why we do lie.
There's one situation though. With Kobe, let's use this as an example.
The nigga,
he was married, right?
So,
but at the same time, didn't the woman have some part in what was going on?
No, well, I don't know what you're asking.
Was she
is he wrong for cheating? That's what you're asking?
I'm not asking if he was wrong for cheating. Like, we know he wrong for cheating.
Okay, what are we talking about then?
But is he wrong for doing what he did? Like, would he be the one to blame for the situation or not? Well, it was his fault that it happened, right? Even if he wasn't married and that girl came to his door and something happened, everything that goes on behind that door would be his fault, not hers. Even though she
opened the door.
So it's his fault that he opened the door. Both of them are making passes.
Once you open the door and you already know.
But she making passes too.
It does not matter. You know, as a basketball player, football player, it doesn't matter. Women are going to come up there and shoot their shot.
They're going to shoot their shot. So, is he wrong for accepting the shot?
Well, yes.
Is he wrong? Why is he wrong
I think you're asking the wrong
question.
You're asking the wrong question because we're going to have to say he's wrong because he's
married.
That's
the only reason. Okay, so
you know what I mean?
Let's use another
example. Now are you saying, okay,
let's use Tupac.
You're saying though, is he?
Let's use Pac.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's use Pac's situation.
All right.
Shorty, they claimed he raped him.
Right.
Right. Let's use that situation.
Now that was totally her fault because.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who was to blame for that situation?
Her. She is on that one.
How? Who? Because the streets blame her.
No.
Society blamed Pac. Pac had to go to jail behind.
But he ain't go to jail for rape though.
But he went to jail for dealing with that situation.
Yeah. So the girl was wrong because first of all, she gave him head in the
seduction,
club,
right? Seduction.
They went back to the joint or whatever, and he, he didn't lie to her. Nothing. He let her be free or whatever. You know what I mean? So he didn't do nothing wrong. I don't know. I don't even remember what was Kobe's situation. Did they say he raped her or what?
No,
what was
like
that?
She just came to the room and then she ended up saying something bogus like that where Kobe almost could have ended up jamming.
What did he end up?
He fell for the seduction.
I know, but what was the what did he actually Did they drop the charges, right?
They dropped the charges. I don't even remember. I just know Kobe went through hell behind opening that door.
See,
and
I think
even though he was married,
we're saying he's wrong for being seduced.
Society,
no, because humans. I mean,
society was saying
humanly wise, he's gonna be seduced, but he's wrong for allowing that to happen though, because of.
That's the part I don't understand. Like that. I mean, true indeed, he committed.
You don't understand?
Because how is he allowing something to happen when both people are at play?
What you mean he had to allow?
Okay.
Both people are in play, so how is he held liable? What? No, I'm not saying none of that. How is he held liable for a situation
that he allowed to happen?
Where both people were at play.
But you can't charge one if she's claiming a victim. She's claiming to be a victim. You can't charge her.
But we know
now if you was talking about he just got caught cheating.
But we know that's what happened. He was.
But we don't know nothing.
He was seduced.
We don't know nothing actually.
I mean, he opened the door in some shape, form, or fashion.
But we don't actually know what happened.
They was both with it, but at the end of the day,
we don't know that.
He was the person to blame. And that's the part
that's because she cried victim. Let's say he cried the victim, then it'd be the other way around.
So that's the part that I'm saying in regards to
us
people being aware.
He can't cry victim if he opened the door.
Right.
If they was out in the open space, then he can cry victim. But once you open up the door, you already opened up the door to tragedy.
It's all his fault. So he can't say, "Oh, this woman sitting up here talking about he tried to rape her.
No, but I'm saying we gotta go by the facts.
Like,
we gotta go by the facts that we know. That we do know. We don't know, like we wasn't there in the room. As far as what we know, as far as what the public know, he's supposed, I forgot, was it rape or touched or something. I forgot what it was, right?
Something.
Now, yes, it's his fault unless he say something different and could prove it. Yes, it's his fault. Until he say I did not do that, then he could prove it. If he proves it, then it's her fault.
I mean, they dropped it. Eventually, he didn't go to jail for none of that.
Yeah, I think they dropped the charges.
He didn't go to jail for none of that. But it's just like that type of shit.
But you're asking the question, though, is he wrong? If he doesn't prove that he's not wrong, then yes, he's wrong. I mean, that's... What else can you say? Like, I mean, you know.
I look at it differently.
You can't though.
I look at it differently because
so
I
you
feel
saying
like
you're minimizing the victim card. So if she is actually the victim, which we don't know because we wasn't in the room.
I'm thinking about all the guys that get. I'm thinking about all the guys that get jammed up, right? All the guys that get jammed up in these types of situations are in situations that are voluntary in the beginning.
Well, some people do.
Right?
Some people.
The only one that wasn't extremely voluntary, I would say, would be R. Kelly.
Oh, you're talking like them celebrities or whatever?
Yeah, that's the only one that I would say was involuntary was R. Kelly. And maybe the shit that happened with Mike Tyson.
I don't even think that was involuntary.
With R. Kelly? Mm-hmm. I mean, them was minors. He fucked up.
But how did he get the minors?
Yeah, that
through the parents,
that
right?
Too, right.
But what I'm saying to you is when he stopped paying.
He would be the one that's considered wrong, right?
When he stopped paying, that's
wrong.
when they come to the forefront and say, yeah, he took my daughter. But how did he get your daughter?
And listen,
that's the part that I'm talking about.
If he go to jail, I'm not
talking about it and articulating it right.
But I think if he, go down, I think they should go down. You sold your daughters.
Right? Yeah. So all of these situations where guys, celebrity status, they meet women.
Right.
End up in closed spaces sometimes with these women. And then if anything goes sideways, the only one that's to blame is the man.
Right. I will say this, and people
that to me is strange.
And I will say this, and people gonna think this is crazy probably, but I'm not saying it ain't wrong. I'm not saying messing with young girls ain't wrong.
Right.
I'm not saying
do not do it.
But hold up though. Check this out.
Don't do it. He old enough to go on here and do it. And I'm looking at him like, dog, that's just disgusting. Right? Last week, his face popped up on Facebook, FBI most wanted, child sex trafficking.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that to me, like, that shit unacceptable, and not only, like, personally for me, but also in the eyes of society, dog.
Hey, look, I know they know the hell they ain't in the eyes of society. Look, I was just finna say something about that. Charles and White is this cat that be on YouTube. This nigga just was like, he took up for the R. Kelly thing. Like, man, let R. Kelly out like these other motherfuckers up. He plays songs from, back in the 80s and 90s and what people... It was all kind of lyrics of motherfuckers saying the goofiest shit.
They had
what I'm saying?
That shit.
You remember my man said, what did he say? He said, if she bleed, she get fucked. I think that was Short back in like 88. You know what I'm saying, motherfucker?
Short was like 17.
But he was saying, nigga, he was talking about, nigga, if she could bleed, nigga, if you start bleeding.
But R. Kelly was young when he came in too, though.
Yeah, nigga.
But
he started bleeding like
he was
11,
still
nigga.
30-something years old.
But no, this is what I'm saying, the context of the lyric,
targeting these young women.
Listen to the context of the lyrics, though. The nigga said, if you bleed, you start bleeding like 11, nigga. You start bleeding right 11, 12 years old.
That shit nasty.
That's what I'm saying. But he played a few songs where it was like, damn,
all
you
that
listen that shit down, like, wow.
Shit just nasty. Like, in my opinion, a motherfucker that's like, once you grown, dog. You know what I'm saying? In my preference, I don't fuck with nothing that's under 30 because I got too many kids that's close to 30.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And if you didn't have kids, then would it be a difference?
Hell no, man.
Like, well, you led with that. You know what
I'm just saying, like, I mean, that's the standard. Like,
you led with that.
That's, I mean, like, yo, that's like dealing with somebody that's as old as your child. Like, that's not what's happening.
I was 18 years old and had a chick that was 34. She was 16 years old.
Let's talk about the R. Shelleys.
Now, you know what I'm saying? Now that so just because I was 18, was that cool? She was 16 years older than me.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I was 16 and a half.
And I'm talking about not just
32.
having sex, nigga cuffed me, they moved in, like we was together.
Cooking,
you know, we was together. You know,
care of the 12-year-old
that was crazy.
everything.
You know what I'm talking
You
about?
walking a 12-year-old to school and you 16.
And he was only 9 years younger than me. Her son was only 9 years
That's
younger.
what I'm saying. Like that shit crazy.
I mean, but is that? I mean,
but no, you're the
you know
perpetrator in that. You would be wrong for that.
What would they say?
No, he would.
What would they say? Hold up. I'm like, hold up.
I'm saying, in most situations.
Well, how would I be wrong with that?
You wouldn't be wrong. I'm just
Like,
I took advantage of the Kruger. You were seeking for the Kruger.
You
knew she was old.
You took it.
She was old.
She was too old.
She was vulnerable.
It was your fault.
It was your fault.
You did it.
You flown it in front
Goddamn
of her.
black male.
Back we was 18, shirt off. Nigga wasn't fat. You know what I'm talking about?
She was on it.
That's funny.
It was your fault.
That's funny.
You did that.
But I mean, is that cool though? I ain't talking about when that motherfucker was.
It's not cool, bro. It's not cool.
Yeah,
it's not cool, man. That's child molestation, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had the same shit happen, man. You know, she was like 32, I was like 16. You know what I'm saying? That's child molestation, bro. I'm talking about it's been hard for everybody after that.
Do you think R. Kelly gonna blow the whistle?
What, on Harvey, no?
No, Harvey's done.
All his guys?
Anybody, everybody, whoever.
I think R. Kelly in a league of his own with that freak
No,
shit.
hell, you got
no, he's not.
I think he might have
Hold
been.
up, see, you know what? See,
No,
when
he's
he
not.
get to talking like this, y'all, this is when it's time to wrap up on him. When he time with shit like that going on, it's a ring.
No,
come on.
When you think about it, right? Like maybe inside of his crew, it's probably other motherfuckers that he run with.
We ain't talking about his crew.
You don't think
it's
that
more
other
people.
motherfuckers out there like him?
Yeah.
that he did it with?
I don't know.
He
man.
just out in the open with
Or
his.
just know too, like
know.
you think he's
Talk
the
about
only
Harvey
one.
Weinstein. I know Jay-Z got away from his ass.
That's like a group thing,
You know
man.
what I'm saying?
Like
I
you
know
don't think
a lot
that's
of
like a
real
fraternity.
motherfuckers, a real motherfucker see that shit and separate themselves from them type of niggas.
See,
real dudes.
Like
but
I don't know
if
what
you
type
want,
of people he was involved with.
That's what we saying though. You
Listen.
don't think that as big as he was,
it's
and the
not
way
exactly.
and the way they love celebrities in the world and all that good shit, you don't think that these dudes got a group of this type of shit going on?
In Paris, I can believe it.
I mean, period. Like, you don't think these dudes got all kind of rinks going on?
Yeah,
All
that's
types
how
of
these
rings.
little girls keep coming up missing.
That's what I'm
Somebody
saying.
paying for them. You know
Look
what
at the
I'm
dude
saying?
with the craft dude.
Somebody paying for them. You know what I mean? Because it's all type of little girls coming up missing, man. And like,
Look at the craft dude. Who do he mess with? Meek Mill and Jay and them, the whole Rock Nation bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Who's the leader? Not the leader, but the chick that fuck with them, she's the police joint. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit's a whole, like,
it's structured like
hell yeah. Look at all the stories coming up about Death Row now.
When a lot of them little girls come up missing, I honestly think that that's the police doing their work.
It's all together though.
That's the police doing that work because ain't no way
It's all together,
little girls coming up missing and nobody really seeing this shit happen.
See, the thing about that though, it's a whole group. That's what I'm saying. You got the big drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? Even like the big ones, of course, supply the small ones. But you got the big ones that pay the police. You know what I'm saying? To turn blind eyes, to do this and that. So you don't think they also bring the police in to go recruit? So therefore, kidnapping, all that good shit, murder. You know what I'm saying? This shit's all niggas like it's a game.
No, it's
a motherfucking game. You know what I'm saying?
It's like this board right here.
Man, it's a game, man. That shit don't, man.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I had to say, man. That seduction shit. I think it's real. I don't think.
Oh well, we gotta finish on that seduction real quick.
I think it's real.
So
I mean, that's what this whole thing
hold on. So
was.
what? I'm kind of confused on like what you really mean about seduction. Is men wrong for being seduced, or what is we really talking about seduction?
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what we're talking. Men are wrong to be seduced. If you get seduced, it's your fault.
If you're committed,
it's
then
your fault.
No,
fuck committed. Whether you're committed,
I don't believe in this whole the way that
single,
they make us live. But if you agree to it, then you gotta abide by them rules.
The whole nine.
You saying if you single, how can you get in trouble for being seduced if you're single?
Because if anything happens, it's the man's fault.
Far as a victim's involved,
just anything.
Well, no, not necessarily.
You can't be that broad like that. You gotta.
I'm being all the way broad. Every situation that I've seen.
But what are we talking about?
I'm talking about celebrities that done.
Somebody become a victim.
When you're talking about celebrities,
Bill Cosby, right?
When you're talking about celebrities,
and I'm talking about guys in the neighborhood.
But
like,
you're talking about when somebody become a victim.
It's guys within the neighborhood here that I have seen get trapped in the same trap.
But okay, so what you're talking about rape?
Whereas
right?
a woman seduced, you know what I mean? Does gets a man and they get comfortable or whatever, and then as soon as something doesn't go right, the woman can say anything, right?
Right.
And then once she says that, guess what? The man is wrong. That's the part that I'm talking
it's
about.
It's not in certain cases, but they have to prove what she's saying is true.
Yeah.
It's his word against hers. And if you came over to my house,
if you grown, and that happens. So it ain't a question of if they did to do or not. The question is, why does society always try to oust the man when there are two people involved in those sexual encounters?
Well, because usually what happens
that's the question of the day.
Well,
that's my question.
Because what usually happens though is two people. Usually the girl, if something happens, even if it don't happen 8 times out of 10, something happens and she could prove or it gets proven, she screams rape or whatever. She becomes a victim. Once she becomes a victim, you have no choice but to point blame towards the person until the thing go on, until the case go on and they prove their case.
How is that?
I mean, I shouldn't say point the victim really.
How is that so easy to happen?
Point the blame, I should say. What you mean?
How is that so easy to happen? Like
what?
How is it so easy for society to believe, knowing that these types of things happen?
Because they usually get proven that it did happen. That's why.
Because they feel like men. They feel like men. If you get into an argument or a fight with your spouse or a woman, they want you to walk away. But that's the train of thought that we all have. Like, men supposed to, we put y'all up here and y'all supposed to say, you know what, this is wrong, I'm walking. But if you don't, then you have responsible until proven guilty, until they can prove she's lying.
Right.
It's not saying, you know what, he's a rapist, let's just throw him out to the curb. It's not that. It's just, prime example, I know somebody, literally, here.
In society, once that type of reputation is thrown out there, it follows.
When the two people that I know, when they had sex, consensually now, they had sex, it didn't go her way. So what did she do? She drugged me.
Right.
But then everybody started listening to her story. They like, well, you said this, but how that don't match? And all of a sudden, it was gone. Why? Because her story didn't match. And if he drugged you and you felt that way, why was you going to his events?
Bill Cosby.
You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly I
get what you're saying, but
Bill Cosby went through. Them women that said that he did that to them, they was with him.
But there was still no proof that he did that. That happened over 40-something years ago.
But he's still in jail.
All because...
But he's not.
I mean, he got out, but he still sentences his ass.
But
he sentenced that man.
But he ended up incriminating himself. That's the reason why he's even out, though, because
the jello and the pudding.
No, because he said he did this shit.
I mean, they showed the video and tried to say that he was talking about putting Spanish flag.
No, he did say that. No, he said it. And the reason why he's out now is because he said it after he was told that he would, it was a civil suit. So they said, whatever you say won't get held against you pretty much.
But you don't think that...
And he said what he said and it get held against him. That's the reason why he's out now is because, you can't do that.
He out now.
But when he was trying to buy NBC, you don't think...
Yeah,
that was all conspiracy.
Yeah,
they had to slow that momentum.
Yeah.
Like, that's what happens to black men, especially when they start moving.
They kill your image and go after your access.
And that's what that's what this segment was about, was just to bring awareness to some of the situations that a lot of young men can face, and to definitely stay mindful in the situations that they're dealing with, because at the end of the day, regardless of what happens with the shorty seduce you or bring you into a room and you take her to your room, if anything goes sideways, dog, you the fault for that.
Just wear a condom.
And be safe.
And if
that was the purpose of what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? It's like a PSA.
But only if it was.
It's a PSA.
Two parties agreed, but if she didn't agree, that's something totally different.
If she don't agree, then you definitely supposed to leave her where she at. You definitely supposed to make sure that she get home in an Uber. It's all these different things that you supposed to do to make sure that the women that you're involved with are safe while they're around you. But always stay mindful that like anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Like straight up. And if it happens, dog, you guilty, boy.
so right before we go real quick, let's say
guilty, boy.
Let's say this real quick right before we go there. In that case,
oh Lord,
what's up? Are you wrong if y'all both is getting drunk and high, whatever you do,
right?
And she's intoxicated, whatever, like y'all came to do. And you have sex with her, people saying that you shouldn't have sex with them is because they're intoxicated or whatever.
You're wrong.
But y'all came to get intoxicated or high or whatever.
No, you're the one that's going to get jammed. And that's the
message. Because you should know better. You should know.
As the man, you should know better.
I say as long as she's conscious and saying yes, then you... But you gotta have a mind.
She can say yes. She can say yes.
But you need to say no because she's under the influence.
Right. In that case, everybody's going to jail. Everybody fucks high or drunk.
Everybody is going to jail.
In that case,
some women wake up and do not recall people that they slept with, bro. And if she don't recall it, and you laying in the bed next to her like, oh, it was a good night, and she, boy, you just raped her. She could call the police.
Because it wasn't consensual.
She could call the police and be like, "Oh my God, I was drunk and my friend."
Now, as far as that go, now that's the question you should have been asking. Now that's all the way wrong. Now I will say you do. Now you gotta have some kind of mindfulness to know when she is too fucked up. Now you gotta know that much.
The art
she's too
of
fucked
seduction.
Up, you know,
bro. It's the art of seduction.
Unless she's your girl, because we definitely took those off while your girl, your woman, your wife, your girl.
Yeah.
Those definitely ain't no such thing as too drunk then.
Man, but like for real, like. Situations that happen, you know what I'm saying? Situations occur in everyday life where we outside and we going with the ways of life. You know what I'm saying? In regards to being sexually active, being attracted to another woman or something like that. And we, as the men, we have to stay mindful of not only the levels of intoxication, but also we have to be aware of ulterior motives, because the seduction may be to get you somewhere just so that you can end up fucked up.
Your
battery. Like right now,
it's going down. What's up?
It's flashing.
All right.
Like right now, it's girls out here setting up guys at a rapid pace. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't fall for the seduction, man. That's all I'm saying, man. Like, stay mindful, don't fall for the seduction, man. It's LTA, man. It's your boy Farji.
Hey, it's your boy Doe. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. We out of here, man. Much love.